Hey, dumelang, and welcome back to another reflection of the week. Today we are going to be talking about something that is very deceptively simple, however, it is very powerful. So this is a way of living life for me. It's a way of living life. So I welcome you all, wherever you are, while you're listening. It could be listening on your way to wherever from point A to point B. Could be sitting and just relaxing and enjoying this moment. And it could be just you are at a restaurant and you're just enjoying something that is really interesting, because this is a safe space for every one of us. As much as I'm alone on this side, but it is a safe space where we can talk about everything, life, growth, and very beautiful. So this is where we talk about how things are done from point one or one person to another. So there are certain things that I do a specific way. Person B does things in a different way. So for me, it helps us to understand each other differently. So our differences actually. So we are all different, as we have mentioned before. In terms of our first videos, actually highlighted different personalities in terms of where we come from. It could be different types of aspect that made us be different or behave in a different way, have different personalities. Therefore, we need to understand that we are all different, and in all of us being different, we are actually giving each other grace to be ourselves, giving each other grace to accept each other, understand each other, and love each other as we are. And this actually is an opportunity for each and every one of us to say, I thought people think the same way that I thought, but it looks like we don't think the same way as I thought. So it gives us a time to then sit and say, oh my God, we are different, and how do we live life differently? How do we live with each other in our different aspects of life? So I love it for that, because I get to see that, yes, I might be thinking this way, and I might be having a friend that thinks this way, but there's someone out there who doesn't think the same way that I do, and other people who and how other people do. So now today's one, as I've mentioned, it's simple thing, but very powerful. Drum rolls. Today we're talking about consistency. Guys, are we consistent? So firstly, maybe we can just say, what is consistency? What is consistency? Consistency for me, and simple, or in my ways of speaking, it is doing simple things each and every single time. Doing things each and every time. You are just showing up every time. It could be in different forms. You could do it this today, go bigger the next day, and so, but you are doing it, you are pushing it, you are, no matter what, you are doing it. So that is consistency for me. I don't know how you would see consistency, but you will obviously tell us in the comment section that you guys do not like. Please comment in the comment section. So now, where does consistency reflection come from? So here's what happened. So I was just reflecting on the fact that I've had 2 years of my life where I could not be consistent in doing things that I would normally do. 2 years of my life, maybe let's say 1.5, because the other half I managed to then start and go back and build in terms of how I used to live. I wanted to live that way because it's maybe a place where I feel familiar. But for me, it's a place where I get to excel in. So when I say a place that where is this place, or what is this place? So I'm more of a person who enjoys a routine life. Routine life is knowing what I have to do today, tomorrow, this week, this month, next year, and so forth and so forth. I might not know thoroughly what I need to do in this month, but in a day, I would say, okay, the bigger thing is to make sure that I register my business. So now, what do I need to do in terms of getting there? I need to find out, what do I need to do? I need to either do it myself or find a person to do it. I need to get the funds in order for me to register the business, because it's not free. I need to get things ready for me to prepare in terms of registration. Do I then want to do the likes of a bid? Do I then want to put it on the central database? Do I, those type of things then are unpacked in a daily or weekly manner, and then to say, when am I going to do it? When specifically am I going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up until it's that big goal of mine that is to register a business? When am I going to start here until it's fully registered? So that is where I thrive the most, or that space is where I thrive the most, because I tend to enjoy knowing that, okay, I need to do this, I've done it. And then comes, the celebration part, and getting to say, done, next, done, next, done. So for the life of me, I've done that for the longest. I've done that for the longest time. And then I got to get to experience a life that was completely out of my comfort zone, where flexibility was just number one thing, where I needed to run when it was the time to run. I needed to stop when it was the time to stop. I needed to wake up, stand, do anything. It just happens. No, there is no warning. No one tells you. It just happens right there and then, and you need to find a way of coping with all those things and ensure that you find a solution. That was a proper difficult time, because I had moved from corporate. With corporate now, we deal with whatever that your department is dealing with. I don't care what that another department does, what they do. It's not for me. I do not care much, but I do what I do, and I relay on the space that I'm in, where I focus on that and push on that and thrive in that space. And then, it's more of a daily thing where we just do what we have to do in that small space. There are other departments of the company that I don't get to experience, or I don't get to see what they do, and that has been the life that I've lived for some time. Then I had to move into a life where now all these 5 departments are mine, and for me to focus. So I needed to understand, how do I maneuver with this? It took me quite some time, as I've said, 1.5 years I can say, to understand what I need to do and what I don't need to do, who I must aside for certain things, because it was just a lot of work for me to do. And as one person running all these things, it was just hilarious. So I couldn't do things that I was used to doing, how I used to live life before I then moved into corporate, which was then also, it was 2 years before that, I was also busy with something else that required me to be doing other things, and there was COVID, and but life had changed drastically for me, and I needed to adapt to that. And guess what? I faced a lot of things. I had to go through pain. I went into destruction. I was just not myself. I could not grab everything. I could not feel myself. I could not do much. I was just not me. And was I happy? Not really, not fully. And I know myself to be at this peak of my happiness. I was just in a place of misery, if I may say it. I was just miserable. And now, moving from corporate to business, I tend to be in a space where it's quite different for me. But now, I need people who tell me, am I doing it right? There was no one. I could not talk to anyone about this type of things except for my partner, because it's in business. But this specific business, I didn't know anyone in it, and I didn't know anyone who could tell me better. This is because my friends and people that I know mostly are in corporate, and only when I was in business that I knew a lot of people who were in business. I got to understand a lot of people who were in business and met a lot of people that I could engage in and see, is this something that happens to all of us, or am I just in my space? Or am I feeling it? Is this the right feeling? Because it was just a lot happening, and I was not sure what was happening in my body. My body was just adjusting to a lot, and I gained a lot of weight. So in that, I then needed to find a way of going back to being the consistent queen that I am. As much as I'm saying going back to it, what I'm referring to is saying going back to a life that I wanted to live. So now I was consistent in this work and understanding this operation of a business, this specific business. I went through being consistent in that. I was consistent in that and made sure I understand it. Until today, I can run it in a space where I'm in my house. I can run it now. So I had to move from one place to another just so that I can then do this, be here while it operates, and make sure that I can operate it while I'm far from it. Because obviously we need the freedom, right? It can't be a business if I'm still required every now and then for it to operate fully, if I may say. It can operate, but fully to operate, I had to find ways of how I need to do it. Okay, fine. Then now I lost track of how I do things like health, life. And guys, I'm in my 30s now, looking at 40s, right? I'm looking at 40s like this. Am I going in? So now health is quite essential. It's always been, but I then realized how I don't want to be in a space where I am in and out of the doctor's room in hospitals. So now I needed to look at it and say, okay, what do we need to do? Then I realized we need to go back to exercising. We need to go back to how we eat. Now we are looking at things like sugar level. We are looking at the high blood pressure. We are looking at cancer. It's now looking at the health at the spectrum. We are looking at it differently because we are getting old, right? So now how do I then incorporate certain things and ensure that I can live this life how I want to live it? I think health is it's wealth. Health is wealth. If your health is not in a good shape, you will pay for it. You will pay for it. So hence the health is wealth and notion. You will pay for it. So I do not want to be in that space where I'm now taking out a lot of money for certain things where I could have prevented them. So now we are trying to look at this. So consistency for me, what it did, being consistent, starting small, pushing those small motives, motions every day, every now and then, up until I get to a certain point where I can improve and. So consistency for me has done a lot in my personal life, health, business, even at corporate. I used to enjoy doing it a lot. So now, are you a consistent person, Chum? Are you a consistent person? And if you are a consistent person, how do you do it? Share. How do you make sure that you do it? For me, consistency, I tend to look at it differently. I start with what I can do and manage, breaking down that big goal into small particulars that I can sit and say, okay, now it's a particle. It's a maze, a puzzle. I'm just putting the puzzle together so that it can be visible. I can see where I'm going. I just break down everything and then work on it every now and then. Every now. Show up. Even when I don't feel like it. Show up. Be there. Do it. And move. So that's how I make sure that I become consistent. Because I look at it where I've tried it actually. I've tried it where I'll do exercises that I know are not my strength. I was doing them because apparently it was recommended that we do those type of exercises. However, they were not my strength. They are not my strength. I fall out a week, a month, I fall out because all I'm thinking is, oh, the labor, the hard work. Then I took myself back and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I'm strong at, what I love, what I enjoy, slowly and build up to it. And I've done that. I've found back my exercises, doing them. Started small with time, started small with pace, and we continuously improve. And in that improvement, you see, man, this is now building consistent. We are building consistent life. We are building the consistency muscle. Am I not happy? Am I not in my happiness either? Am I not in my... I'm enjoying every single thing in life. When a green tree, I love it. When a brown soil, I love it. When a blue sky, I love it. God, I just love everything and anything because now I'm enjoying my space. I'm doing this. Consistency, guys. Showing up for yourself, guys. I need to know how you guys do it. Are you a consistent person? And if not, if you are, how do you do it? What are your tricks? What are your tricks? How do you make sure that you show up for yourself every single time? By the way, I'm enjoying this. Sorry, but I'm enjoying this. See you in the next reflection of the other week. Maybe you guys can also share your reflections and then we can then look at them. I don't know how we're gonna do this, but we are doing it this way at the moment. I don't know how. Please share. What can I do? What should I do? Share with me. Share with me. And I think I'm gonna get someone who's gonna show me how to do these things because this is not really my strength, but I'm gonna find someone who's gonna help me in excelling in this thing because I normally see comments, oh, you should try this, oh, you should put it, you know how it's put. I didn't know that with YouTube you need to put your camera this way. No, I was just putting it how I know how, but I got to understand, oh, what improvements. Oh, we do it like this. Oh. Anyway, it is good weekend. It's a Friday, so we are entering into a weekend. So enjoy yourself. Have a lovely weekend. Happy.